Got two bottles for you all this morning. Hope you all are doing well. Marvin are preaching sense and do a quick review on H24. Now, one of these came out a couple years ago. That's the H24, the EDT, Eau de Toilette. And this is the Parfum right here. And so we're just going to do a quick comparison. You know, I'm not going to waste much time. Y'all know how I do. First of all, well, you see I've used a lot of this one because this came out a couple years ago. But if you can see, and I'm not sure the camera is showing, but you can see the color of the juice is different. This one obviously is a little bit darker. This one's lighter. This one I got later on, actually not too long ago. So the difference is I can't really say which one is right off the top just better, straight out better, because I like them both. I do find that a lot of people are a little more intrigued with the Parfum version because I think it just does more. It goes a little bit more in depth. So I'm going to break down both of them. So first off, the EDT. Now, the interesting thing about this is for it to be a designer type fragrance, it goes a little bit more in depth. It actually acts like it's a niche. Typically, you know, the designer fragrances, they all kind of smell similar. You know, the mall scent. This is so different than what we're used to. And so this is some of the key notes in here is narcissus. It's aromatic. It opens up, you know, you get this kind of a grapefruit type of citrus, and it has a little bit of a zing to it. If that makes sense. It's metallic. So that's kind of an earthy mineral type note there. And those are kind of some of the main things that stand out to me. It doesn't really do much in terms of developing. It kind of it opens up with a little bit of sweetness from the citrus notes, but then after that, it kind of just once it gets past that initial opening, it kind of stays the same for most of the time you're wearing it. It doesn't last a super long time. This is good for this time of year, really good for the summer. And I wore it a lot last summer, as you could see this bottle. This was one of my main scents, one of my go-to ones. I got a lot of compliments when I wore this. And even when I didn't really smell it that much myself, other people smelled it on me and gave me compliments. So I was happy about that. Yeah, and it was light. It kind of reminds you of, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to compare it to the EDP, but it reminds you of kind of like Before It Rains. You know, it's kind of the calm before the storm. It's light. It's just kind of like that pre-rain fragrance. If you ever, before it rains and it starts getting a little misty in the air, that's the kind of smell I'm getting here. If you were walking through some garden or some forest type area, it's bright, it's green. So that's the EDT. Now the EDP, very interesting what they did here. It definitely has hints of the original, but it does a little bit more. It goes into this deep, rich, kind of a creamy coconut type of direction. Very interesting. In some ways, both of these, in some ways, especially the EDP, they're kind of throwbacks from, you know, maybe the 1980s. And so some people may not like that because they say, I don't smell like an old man. It's kind of like a modern take on maybe a food. It's kind of like a modern fougere. It's green, it's mossy. It has the clary sage. It has aromatic. It has a little bit of amber type notes as it dries down. It gets real ambery. It's really unique, and it's kind of like a new style of a barbershop fragrance. You know, that's what I would that's how I would sum this up. So if you hate barbershop style fragrances, if you hate fragrances from yesteryear that are remodeled using the DNAs of today, but kind of reminding you of something from the past. If you don't like those kind of scents, this one probably won't be for you. I said that the EDT is kind of like pre-storm or pre-rain. This one is like, you know, you're in a forest and the rain has already come. So now the forest floor is damp and kind of soggy, and that's where that moss type note kind of comes through. So it's green, it's mossy, little sweet, kind of a creamy coconut type of smell. That's what I get out of the EDP. So if you had to just choose one, I personally go to EDP just because what it does, how it develops, it really they look like it's just more going on in this one right here. They both, I believe, can be worn in the spring and in the summer. The EDP probably can go a little bit longer, a little bit more into the fall. These aren't really, I wouldn't call these a winter scent or anything like winter fragrance, but beautiful scents. You will not smell like, this is like nothing else that I have in my collection, both of these. So I will say that if you want the unique factor, you will get that from these two. So that's my review on H24 EDP versus the EDT. Hope you all enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts, and always get a decant, I think I blind bought this one, and I wasn't disappointed, but I heard so much about this one that I said, let me buy a decant. I bought the decant. I loved it, and I ended up buying it. So buy a decant if you're not sure, but I gave you my opinion. I like them both. I'm going to be wearing them both. On warmer days, I'll wear the EDT. If it's a cooler summer day or spring day, I will wear the EDP. So that's how I'm going to do. Marvel and Preaching Sense. Leave your comments, like, subscribe. Have a blessed day.